What up, brothers? It's Clipperking returning for another new review, and I'm treading new ground tonight. Basically, if you're watching this review early, chances are you're watching it on Alex McVee's channel. I'm doing this as a special favour because Alex has done me a good favour. He got in touch with me about probably 3 weeks ago, asked me for a shipping address, got a couple of things to send me. I'm like, well, yeah, there's my address, what are you sending me, sort of thing. A lot of you guys will know it's not uncommon for me to review stuff and send it back, or I've reviewed head sculpts and things that belong to other people, custom stuff. I just thought it was that situation. Alex basically explained to me what he wanted to do was ship me first the 1/4 scale Hot Toys Batman, and then this, if he could get the shipping address changed with Hot Toys with Sideshow in time. So I changed the thing. I said to him, why are you shipping them directly to me? So basically, my channel, which was Stiff Kittens, I think 01, has been locked. I can't get the password back to open it back up, so I'm starting a new channel, and I appreciate if you would review me these two figures because I've got them coming quite early. So I'm like, yep, of course I will do it. It gives me a chance to see them, and it lets me help a fella collector out. Obviously, there's nothing in it for me other than the fact that I get to review another figure. What I've said also is I would upload it as unlisted. He can then download it and upload it to his channel, so it will come onto his channel first, then in a few days it will appear on my channel, which is what's going to happen. Now, I don't want to make this review too long, although I do want to score it up, for the simple reason is I'm not sure if Alex can upload longer than 15 minutes, but I think he should be able to. I've discussed it with him and we both think he can do it. But anyway, as you can see, the figure in front of you is the Hot Toys Avengers Iron Man Mark VII, the battle damage figure, battle damage version, should I say. And as we moved in, you can see, really sweet looking piece. Just moving down. I will score it up like I normally do. You know, Clipperking, I'm not going to kiss nobody's arse because it's somebody else's figure. I'm going to review it true, as if it's my figure. I'd received it. I'll tell you the things I like about it, the things I don't. I'll make some other reference points for you. So, right, let's crack on. Like I said, massive thanks to Alex for even letting me receive this figure. And something will become clear in a minute as regards the box, because I've received this, like I said, from Sideshow. Alex still hasn't seen this yet, so I've seen it first, sort of thing, which I'm buzzing about, really. The fact that he would trust me enough to get a figure that he's just paid like $300 for me to receive it for him and then send it down to him, it just boggles my mind. But a lot of things are impressing me a lot lately. But anyway, so let's roll on and get some scores on the doors. Source material, I've done it like 9 times already, or 8 times already, whatever, for the Avengers I've got. I've always given the Avengers figures a 4 out of 5, simply because I really like the film. I've watched it a few times, obviously, and I do like it every time I watch it. Hulk is the Starman for me, and that's why he's the only figure that got a 5 out of 5. But I will say a close second were Tony Stark / Iron Man. But I am going to give him a 4 out of 5 because it were an ensemble cast, and it would be a little bit unfair for me to start saying, well, that character gets that amount and that gets that. Other than Hulk, which I thought were clear star at show, I've given every other character a 4 out of 5, and that is what I'm going to do. So again, I just scan down the figure for you. Just got him in a pretty simple pose, looking pretty tired out. He's battle damaged up. Just stood on the Chitauri soldier, on the big base that comes with it. Looking beautiful. So like I say, on the source material, I've given it a 4 out of 5. Rolling on to packaging, and as I've just explained, the figure came direct to me. So what I'm going to do, I'll talk you through the packaging first. As you can see, pretty similar to design to the other Avengers figures, but it's sort of a, let's call it a negative version, if you like. It's a lot darker. Where the others were colour coded, this one's not. I think this one's sort of, it sort of says to you that it is a second version of a release from that film, sort of thing, because I would associate the Iron Man with the red and the gold, where this one's got a very dark sort of, not grubby look, but I suppose battle damage look or worn out look about it. It's got the wraparound picture, it's got the arc reactor on the side, the chrome lettering again, the Avengers symbol. This one's more reflective. As you can see, it's catching the camera's light, and you can see there my hand moving about. So the sort of the undercoat is a reflective thing, with then sort of the comic book style visual mixing with a dotted section. Nice, something really cool about it. Not a lot of graphics as usual, and it is just a slip cover. So I would normally score it a 3. In this case, I'm not gonna, for the simple reason is, it's come from Sideshow Collectibles. He has paid for the extra box, yet whoever packaged it, I've seen this on Facebook today because I've sent him the picture. That is how it came. Well, to be honest, and I don't want to fuck this box up any more than it were inside the plastic bag, and it looked like, while it was in the plastic bag, they've shoved it down into the shipper box, caught that corner, and it had pushed that corner back on itself. So that was trapped inside the plastic bag, inside the box. So of course you've got a massive crease down there, which, to make matters worse, goes through these chrome emblems. Fucking proper shit by Sideshow or Hot Toys, who's ever. I would say it's Hot Toys' problem, because I think they've put it in the shipper box, and then Sideshow Collectibles have put it inside the outer shipping box. Whoever's done it, it's shit, because a lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of collectors love mint condition boxes. Now what I will say is, it's not been dropped or dinged, there's no battered corners, it's just that, like I said, they've pushed it in, heavy-handed fucking fool, pushed it in, it's caught that corner and it's folded it back on its head. Like I said, I told Alex straight away, I thought, well, I've no to hide, I'll send it him. He's going to be pissed off, I know he is, but like I said, what can I say? I can't say it fucking didn't turn up like that. He's going to see it. So, like I said, that's how it came, and that's wank, because on top of the shipping he's paid from America, he'll also fucking, he's asked for extra packaging, extra protection on that, and it's still come like that, which, like I said, it's not good. If he wanted to keep this in pristine, which he's told me he does, it's shit that it's come like that. But like I said, there's fuck all I can do about that. What I would say as well, going back to the comments I've seen on Facebook about it, a lot of people saying it's only a box, fucking chill out sort of thing, but that's easy to say if it's not your figure, I think. Some people want it how they want it, and Alex obviously does. I've got to say, if it were my box, I'd be fucking cursing, but then again, this is why I don't buy from Sideshow Collectibles, and this is why I can tell you, because they don't pay my bills. That Clipperking and old Sideshow Collectibles a fucking thing, so I can say, fucking don't buy from them. As far as I'm concerned, unless you need the layaway plan, don't fucking buy from them, because they're worse than shit, I think. But like I say, I bought one figure from them, I think, the exclusive Batman, and I certainly won't buy from them again. They can stick the loyalty points right up their anuses, but that's just me. So, going back to the scores, I would normally give a box like that a 3 out of 5. There's no way I'm giving a 3 out of 5 to a box that's come with a fucking folded back corner. Looks like it's been fucking circumcised. So, not happening. I'm giving it a 1 out of 5. Fucking Hot Toys or Sideshow Collectibles, sort yourselves out. Right, rolling on to likeness. And I am going to pretty much just cover the head sculpt. And I mean the face sculpt as such, not the helmet. I will mention the helmet flap, but it's mainly about the facial likeness. I've got to say this is a strong category because I really like that head sculpt. It was one of the first things that caught me when I opened the box. I think for an helmet of Tony Stark, I think this is possibly the best one I've ever seen. And I've seen the Mark III battle damage. I've got the Mark VI with the battle damage on, and then I've seen on the Mark II Unleashed with Don Cheadle. That might just be the ones I've seen, but I think this is the best one. I think they've slightly enlarged the eyes. I think they've just given it a slightly different look to what they normally give him. It's normally a really vacant look, but this is just a little bit better than we normally get. I think what they've done is used the Tony Stark in the workshop version, blooded it up and then encased it in an helmet. If they have done that, well played to him, because I think that is the best Tony Stark available. What I will say is, just looking at the faceplate first, it's not really battle damage. It has got scratches on, as you can see, and it is sort of got an orangey sheen to it, which gives the impression that there's either blast marks on or the sort of the reds running into the yellow. So yeah, it's not a battle damaged as such, and that is the faceplate that goes on the light up head and the face sculpt head. So that is the only faceplate you get. So like I said, not massively damaged, just more kind of smoked up, I suppose. But that goes for a lot of the suit, to be honest. Looking at the sculpt, like I say, I think the expression's pretty good. It's determined, I would say. You get the cut on the left-hand side of the forehead. You get the blooded lip, you get the mark on his right cheek. I do think the colour they've used for the blood effects is really good and looks really accurate. Now I can't compare this to the other Mark VII head because that were an open head with a really daft smile on it. It weren't an helmet head, but what I can compare it to is the Mark VI battle damaged head. As you can see, the faceplate is a lot more battle damaged on the Mark VI version than it is on this Mark VII. But the big difference is, if you were to take that off and compare that, then I think that the Mark VII battle damage pretty much kicks its arse as far as the sculpt's concerned. It fills the helmet better. I just think it looks more like Robert Downey Jr. Just a big step forward, which is no surprise because we're talking like 2 years down the line, 18 months down the line, whatever. Whereas on this helmet, the lower jaw moves. This one doesn't, because as you see, he's got these really, really little spikes sort of down the side of his mouth, which makes it look like the helmet's fucked up and it's like falling apart kind of thing. It's a really nice touch. So yeah, I really do like that. This one's okay, I suppose, but it's a battle damage version, the Mark VI, remember, and it's like, it's got a battle damage option, so to speak, and all you got were a bruise on his cheek, where this one's pretty much, I don't know, he's had some hammer. So I really do like that about it. So on the facial sculpt, I am going to give it a 5 out of 5. Just move back, show you the pose. Pretty much moving forward, one leg well in front of her. I will say that stand doesn't come with it. That's my Mark VII stand, so you don't get that with it. But that will bring me on to another point about the stand that comes with this one. Yeah, pretty much got him striding forward kind of thing. Quite determined, or I don't know, struggling, I suppose. But like I said, facial likeness, 5 out of 5. Rolling on to outfit, and to be honest, to me this is pretty much what this figure is. This is what it's all about. It's a variant, so a good variant, I will say, but a very expensive variant. The reason I say that is because with the other Iron Man Mark VII, the one I've got, you've basically got 3 options. If you go back and watch my review, you'll see what I mean. I were going to do a really detailed comparison video, but I don't see there's really a point, because it would lead me to swapping out parts and bits and bobs like that, which would be time consuming, and like I said, there's no real point, because I'll show them you in a minute. I'll show them you together to explain what I'm trying to say. This is pretty much a dulled down battle damage version of that. So you're probably looking at a 10-minute scene towards the back end of the battle, probably where Hulk catches him to where they talk about going to get some fucking food. That's what you get in here. So you've got no capsule on the shoulder, you've got no red highlighted section that fits in there, you've got no change of chest plate, you've got no change of face plate, you've got no change of shoulder pads. The missiles section you have got, but this one, it's not just where before I've seen battle damage ones, namely the Mark VI up there. There's some battle damage bits, but it goes onto a clean body. So you have like a cut where you've gone from like a battle damage bit here to a really clean bit here. Now, that's why there's no point, because if I scan back, so you basically got a totally clean battle ready version. So you've got the big shoulder pods there, all clean, clean face, clean everything. Sleeker leg designs, you can have the bulkier ones on this one, but this is pretty much how I leave mine set up. It's similar to the power pose. I like it because it looks aggressive but quite natural, and then I've gone for something that would complement that with the more rotated version of the power pose with the battle damage version. So I wanted some sort of like for like, so you can see them together. Now, like I said, where this one really catches the light everywhere you look, this one doesn't. It's dulled down. It's sort of got these exhaust fumes or blast marks, whatever they are, carbon marks, I suppose. You've got the battle damage there, all across the chest, which is very similar to what you get with this one, all down the sides of the legs, where this one you don't. Like I say, you get a clean leg, but then you'd have a battle damage part there, or a chest, but then stomach could be clean. This one's pretty much battle damaged everywhere. So that's why I say it's a variant. you could take this one to as battle damaged as it can get, but then the next step would be this one. So it's, like I said, there's no point comparing them, because it's like, I don't know, I wouldn't be telling you no, you don't already know. I think, like these sections here, I could pick that out and it probably would fit there, but there'd be no point, because you'd have a bright candy apple red section there on a dull red surround, and it'd look fucking stupid to say the least. So I'm not going to do that. Same with the helmet. It's like a really dull, hardly catches the light, hardly any reflection from the camera's light. Where this one, you can see, look where the light's hitting it. Like I say, really metallic looking, that one. So I really suppose it's which suit do you want. Do you want the end of the film smashed to fuck? You've got that. Because you think, for the Avengers film, you've pretty much got Mark 6 from start, and then he unleashes the Mark 7, and then the last 10 minutes of film is in battle damage Mark 7. So it's what do you want sort of thing. I will say the effect that they've done is really good on this. I think the paint is really good, all the way down the boot, scrapes. You'll see pictures and get better detail, but I'll show you around it. Sometimes I look at it and it looks orange, and I don't know if this is going to catch it. It looks like they've sort of blended from the gold to the red by mixing a colour sort of thing somewhere in between. So it will like originally all painted red, and then underneath the gold would be the red, and that's coming through sort of thing. I hope that makes sense. But that's what it looks like to me, where this is like a definite red and a definite gold. But nice. What would I give the suit? I like it, and I would probably be happy with either version. If I couldn't have got that version, then I would have been happy to pick that version up. If I'm being totally honest, I'd still be happy with this one, because you've got 3 versions in one. This, you've got 1 version in one. So, but like I said, you could have either to sort of replicate the look you want for your Avengers. But because there's no add-ons, nothing to attach to this one, I'm going to mark the suit down and only give it a 4 out of 5. Rolling on to articulation. Just to show you first, I've got him sort of in a flying pose with the aid of the new Goblin stand. So with the stem going up his back and attaching around his waist, so hold him in like I said, flying pose. Blasting off. So yeah. The articulation is pretty much same as the Mark 7 when it's got the sleeker look sort of thing. So no bulky shoulders on, none of the bulky leg attachments. This is pretty much as it is sort of thing. Like I said before with the outfit, there's nothing to swap on and off of this other than the hands and the faceplate sort of thing, or the head. But so the articulation, like I've said before on these Iron Man figures, it is pretty good for what it is. You have got the ab crunch articulation, pretty good in the arms. The shoulder plugs sort of sit there and you can move them up and down and then rotate. A little bit limited through the elbows, maybe through the wrist a little bit, but then you get the articulated hands, which are always good. Just really quickly put them into that position. So yeah, you do get a set of those like we normally do. Pretty good twist through the chest and the ab section as well, not just the crunch and like sort of expand. The pelvis area a little bit restrictive like it always is. The upper legs again a little bit restrictive because of these sort of disc shapes here, but nothing too bad. For an armoured figure, it is what we know. It is a top line Iron Man, so a new version Iron Man so to speak. So better than the older ones, but still not amazing. Somebody asked me not too long back, could you get the sort of the Iron Man signature pose? I don't think so. I think it's trickery. I think it's a matter of unplugging a leg and sort of resting it against it to try and get it low enough so its fist will touch floor. And even then, I'm not convinced it even looks natural. I think when you see it in the film, it does that. I think there's a lot of fucking collapsed polygons in the fucking CGI. I don't think there's any way an armoured suit would do it. So it's trickery, brothers. I don't think it can be done. If somebody comes out and shows it me and then shows me how they got it into the pose and back out, then I'll believe it. Other than that, I don't think it can do the signature punch in the floor pose. I just don't think these figures are at that standard yet. And to be honest, if they did, they would pretty much be Marvel Legend figures or Marvel Select figures. You'd have 50 million points of articulation and then it'd look shit. So, no, I don't think it would be that articulated. But I will say, because I do take the sort of the more realistic look in exchange for articulation, I sort of make an allowance on it. So again, I have given it a 4 out of 5 for articulation, like I would normally give the later Iron Man figures, which is really good to say, like I say, because it is an armoured figure, and I think that's about as articulated as it really would be in real life. So I think that 4 out of 5 is a pretty fair score. Moving on to extras, and as you can see, as I pull away, Iron Man's injured on this category, because you think he's coming with some great stuff, but when you get it, I don't know, leaves a bit of an empty feeling. So he needs an helping hand from his Uncle Hulk carrying him. He's just fucking dangling, he's limp, like a limp fish in his hand. Hulk's just looking, about to slam him down onto his Chitauri base. Right, so what does it bring? And I'm bearing in mind, I've had the Mark VII about a month and a half. Now that came fully loaded, and I don't know if I fucking did give it a 5, but I should have given it a 5. Hulk on the other hand, I'd probably give it a 1 because he brought fuck all, bought a pair of spare hands. So that's the sort of scale I'm going on. So what did it bring? Firstly, and the reason I was gonna give it a massive score, the spare head. The Tony Stark in helmet head is really, really good, and that made me think, yeah, I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5 because they're my rules. A spare head, a spare outfit, an awesome base would normally bump the scores right up. I do love that head, and I would probably, if I had this version, I would always display it with that head. I really do like it, rate it very highly, so buzzing enough. Moving just behind that head is this piece of shit fucking Chitauri weapon that we got with Captain America. It was cheap as fuck then, it's cheap as fuck still. No point to it at all other than to lay it on this base and fucking forget about it. Or melt it down and make something more interesting, I don't know. Piece of shit. Instructions might come in handy, but I don't know why. It only tell you how to switch the lights on and off, which I will say, I haven't took the little plastic covers out of the light section because, like I say, it's not my figure. I don't want to have to take them out, show you lights, which you've all seen before, so I have to put the tags back in. So I've left the tags in, and I haven't showed you any lights. I haven't tested any lights either, so yeah. Moving on to hands, you get a set of fists that most Iron Man brings. You've got now the repulsor blast hands, sort of with the hole on the backhand, so it will pose like that, like it should have done from start. And then you get the right angle bend wrist section to sort of accommodate them. They'd fit together like that. So yeah, you get that. You get the rockets, which obviously this section pops out and that section goes on. If you want to see that, go to the Mark VII review on my channel. You see how that works. And then you get this base, which is massive. Just to give you a scale, that's all code in Iron Man, and that's the base. Really big. A couple of things I don't like about it. It's heavy, so obviously it puts the shipping price up. In fact, it's really heavy. It's solid feeling. What I would say is the paintwork on it is really, really basic. I used to collect Marvel Legend figures for our Callum a few years back now, probably, I don't know, 8-10 years back. And each Marvel Legend used to come with a little diorama or a build-a-figure sort of thing, but the ones that came with dioramas were very similar to this. Like nothing out of ordinary. It's just, like I say, a sculpted Chitauri soldier laid on some gravel with his legs sunk into it for whatever reason, I don't know. Like I said, just laid like that. Now, that's all well and good. And every Avenger had an attachment part that would have fit onto that, so I could have filled that whole shelf up with a big mound like that and have each Avenger stacked round, and that would have been cool. There'd have been something really cool about it, 'cause it's something that they haven't done, like attachment bases before. Really good idea, I think. I've been crying out for that since the Super Predators come out from the Predators movie. But on this, I don't know, it's sort of much or a muchness. It was sort of, let's fill the box up with this diorama and everybody will think they're getting loads. So they're not. They're getting a cheap painted bit of plastic where the socket isn't fucking wrong place for me. Because you get this crutch grab stand and it's right at back at stand. So you put him on it and all you can do is put 1 foot down there and 1 foot down there, or 1 foot down there and one stud on him, and then he's pretty much hid behind thing. You're looking at your shelf like that and you can't see it for Iron Man because he's behind this fucking thing. It doesn't make no sense to me. What they should have done is put that more central, I think. Put it somewhere there so he could stand clearly on top of him, so like sort of landing on him or whatever. And then they ought to have given you a couple of holes, options for the flight pole stem, like on the Mark VI one, or on the Wolverine Sentinel head. It ought to have had some holes drilled so you could have the flight pole so you're coming down to land on it, and they never did that. And I think to myself, what a bunch of bullshit that is. It's fucking a good idea, I suppose, to start with, but they just executed it badly for me. So the fact that that turned out as shit as it did is actually bringing the score down. Like I said, that's awesome. For me, it'd have been enough to put that in with that, and it'd probably got a better score than the fact it came with this, which is, don't know, good idea gone wrong. That's just null and void. And then the other hands, which you would need. So, I don't know. Like I said, it makes me feel bad because it's somebody else's figure. But then again, I'd feel even worse if I started fucking lying and telling you the best thing since sliced bread. So on the extras, I'm only giving it a 3 out of 5. I do like that pose though with Hulk. I will say that. So well done, Uncle Clipper. Pat on back for you, brother. Right, moving on to value, and I can't tell you a great deal about value because, like I've said, it's not my figure, it's Alex's. So, I don't know if he had reward points or what, or how he's done it. I know he's bought it from Sideshow because that pretty much was the only place you could get this battle damage version from in the end. People said they were going to get it and didn't, so he ended up picking it up from there. Now, the way I understand it, it was about $300 for the figure. Then shipping to England, I'm thinking would be about $40. So what's that, call it $340. So what's that, 200 and probably 215, 220 quid, and then on top of that he's going to get 20% VAT, so 215, another 40, we're talking about 250 quid, I think. Could be wrong. Now, do I think that figure's worth that? No, I don't. I paid 165, I think, for my Mark VII, so I definitely wouldn't pay that for a figure that came with less stuff. Like I said, I really do like the battle damage head sculpt, and I'd be tempted to pick that up to put onto my own thing. I don't think you can mix and match the figures because, like I've said, they're two completely different paint jobs. So I think it's pick the one you like, go with one or other. I don't know. What I would say is I've got a funny feeling, and I could be wrong about this because I've been wrong before once or twice. I think this might become the version to try and get hold of because I think it's limited. And I think it will do what sort of Hawkeye did and a couple of other figures, limited run, and the price will go through the roof. So I suppose he will always make his money back on it. But I don't know, I think it's too much to pay to start with, but like I said, most of the Iron Man figures go up anyway, and this one might be the version to have. So I'm going to give it straight down the middle, a 3 out of 5. I'm not going to say he's got bummed because it is what it is. You buy what you want to buy. Would I have paid that for it? Not in a fucking million years. So rolling on to the overall score, I've given it a 24 out of a possible 35, which is pretty respectable score nowadays. Like you all know, I've toughened up a little bit on the scores, and I have again marked it honestly. I hope Alex can see why I've given it each scores. I hope that you, if you're watching this on Alex's channel, which you pretty much should be because I'm going to link his version to my Facebook and probably to Sideshow Freaks. So if you're watching this video, please subscribe to Alex McVie's channel. He's a guy who used to be Stiff Kittens 01. So if you subscribe to him and you've not been able to find him, this is where he is now. So please subscribe because it at least shows that you've watched this review, and like I say, it makes his favour what he's done to me is in lending it me, and my favour I've done to him as in reviewing it. It makes it all worthwhile, and it will boost his subscriptions a little bit. Just show him with the 6 main Avengers. I think that's looking pretty nice. I've not got more poses I want it to be. I've done it pretty much quick, just chucked them onto the shelf kind of thing. I'm in the middle of a bit of a clean down and thinking of some figures to sell, so that's why I put them there. Obviously, with my display, I would have the clean version Mark VII up there, but like I said before, you get a battle damaged Captain America, and you've got your Hulk, and you could have a battle damaged Iron Man, and I suppose the display would be just as good. So, like I said, 24 out of a possible 35. Massive thanks to Alex for lending me this figure. I am now going to box it straight back up and get it shipped to you tomorrow, brother, because I don't like having it sat in house when it's a figure you've bought. So I'm going to ship it back up. Again, I can't do aught but apologise for how the box arrived. Obviously, it weren't my doing, but it's never nice to receive somebody else's thing and then have to be the one to say, oh, your box is fucked, by the way. But like I said, I'll let him know as soon as I know, so I don't know what else I can tell him on that. But much respect, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing to my channel and also Alex's channel if you're watching it on that channel. Like it and leave a comment, please, brothers. And this is Clipperking for now, and I'm out of here.